joined by two very talented individuals. These are property experts. You've got Shannon, who has got 25 rent-to-rents, making in excess of £17,000 per month. And you've got Dale, a builder, plumber, electrician, all of the trades now going into buy, refurbish, refinance properties. You're here to find out more. Joined here with Shannon. She's just picked the keys up to her hotel and he's currently in the process of staging it, currently in the process of staging it. But I managed to pull her aside just to kind of give you guys a little rundown of what's going in. So I'm going to start right at the beginning. So what is your reason why? Why did you get into property in the first place?
My daughter.
Yeah?
100% my daughter. So actually I was never my idea to get into property, it was my husband's idea. He said, let's go the crash course. So I went with them reluctantly, thought this isn't my seeing this. Went and then we thought actually it's alright, it's not too bad, I might try it. I went to the back of the room and everyone runs to the back. And then my husband said, oh, did you sign up? I said, yes, signed up, everything's done. And then a couple of days later got an email saying, hi Shannon, these are your details for Heathrow. And I was like, oh no, my husband, not me. And she was like, well, you put your details down, so we've signed you up.
Wow.
So then I was like, okay. So my husband said, well, you're on maternity leave anyway, just go to it. So I went and then never looked back really. So yeah, so I went to the crash course, then went to the 4-day training, and then said to my husband, we're going to have to sign up for the academy on this because it's just the things that I was seeing was just so good, like the atmosphere and the networking. So I joined, but at that stage I was quite, postnatally depressed. Yeah. And I'm just that type of person that masks a lot of stuff. So I'd be like, I'm okay, but inside I wasn't.
Yeah, inside you were really feeling it.
And I was really down in the dumps, but I thought, no, we'll go, we'll try. I was on 3 months of training back to back, June, July and August last year. And then I just thought I had a bit of a breakdown then because I just bottled everything up for so long and then had a really bad shift in work when I went back to nursing and it just hit me over the edge and I never went back. That was the 17th of December last year.
Gosh, so it's not that long ago.
No,
it's not that long ago. We're in July now, so
yeah.
that seems crazy to get here. And how did you do it? How did you overcome that almost mental barrier really?
Yeah. I don't think there was something that made me click to say, get out of bed, you need to do this. But obviously when you've got a kid, you have to look after them. You can't just not look after them. So she was making me get up, get dressed, take her out, get her dressed and all that kind of stuff. So that pushed me a lot. Yeah. And then my brother, who I work with now, he was like, right, okay, he's got a care company, come and see what I do for a bit. Come and get out the house for a day. And he was like, aren't you doing that property academy thing? And I was like, yeah, but I'm not really bothered about it no more. It doesn't matter. At this time I was like 6-7 months in. I hadn't done anything really apart from the face-to-face training. Yeah.
And what were your steps that you took to kind of get to where you are now from that position? I don't know if you know this, but the scale of which Shannon grew her business was insane. So to figure out how it went from kind of in December, this real low point to where you are now is honestly, it's honourable in so many.
And I think I actually shared a picture on Instagram, was it yesterday or the day before? And it was kind of a before and after. There was a picture of me in June 2024 and a picture of me last week. And in the top picture, I was overweight, I was depressed. You could just, I think looking at that picture of myself, I could see the sadness in my face, but I was still smiling on the picture, and I was like, I can see the depression on me there, and then the picture underneath, I can actually see the weight off my shoulders, and I'll see a lot happier. But I just found a property on Rightmove. I just was searching on Rightmove. I didn't know how to talk to landlords and agents, and I just thought I'll just apply for a house on Rightmove and see what happens. I didn't want to speak to landlords. I still was a bit shy and depressed. I didn't want to really put myself out there, so found the property that I've still got now behind the bombed out church in Liverpool. It was on with an agent and it actually said underneath company lets. So I messaged them, rang them, went and viewed it, and then there was a bit of a barrier where they were like, well, your company's not been open long enough and you haven't got the experience. But it turns out the landlord was a GP, and I said, well, I'm a nurse, and he was like, oh, okay, well, give it a go. Yeah. So that was that, and then now that agent still sends me properties, probably on a weekly basis now.
Gosh, that's crazy to think. Just that small it's almost like a little bit of courage, isn't it?
Yeah,
to go,
yeah,
do you know what? Let's do it. To now having that revolving door of opportunity.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, that's huge. That's huge.
So the first thing we done was put the TVs on the wall. So Dale, being a good electrician, he's put nice trunking down the bottom so the wires stayed in. We then put the beds in. We all started from the chair, so the colour of the chair is what I based the room off. And I've never had to stage a property as big as this before. In fact, I've never had to stage, to be honest with you, because all my properties are furnished, as you know. So yeah, we got the desks, the chairs, the sofa beds. They were a bit of a nightmare to find for good quality and cheap prices. Lamps were from IKEA, and then we just got the pictures from the range and it just put the room together. And then I wanted to try and base it off the Premier Inn, because that's where we go when we go to Heathrow. Yeah. So I made sure it had everything that you'd want in a Premier Inn, so like your kettles, your tea trays, your fridge, your mirror, your long mirror, ironing board, iron and clothes rail. So it's got everything that you would need. But the bathroom's better. Follow me this way. This is the bathroom. So you can sit in the bath, and the view is just, on a really like hot day today, the view is just absolutely stunning. But it's got everything that you need in a good bathroom, and it's a good quality bathroom as well. There's been a lot of hard work put into this bathroom from the previous owners. So yes, we got the big bath, toilet, stand-in shower, and the sink there, and the heated towel rails. But this is my favourite room in the whole house, so I hope you like how I've styled it as well. So to market to our target clients, we have made this house hotel to target Airbnb, so people who are coming to the town for either visiting the beach, visiting the theatre. We've tried to make it as high end as possible. However, we've had quite a lot of interest in contractors wanting to take the whole property on, which means we would keep it all the same, but we would need to split the double beds into 2 singles throughout the whole house, which isn't too much work, but obviously not what we were aiming for. So even though you do try and target to one clientele, you might find that you attract another because of location or how it looks. So we're just adapting to each day and each situation and each inquiry, really.
I wanted to kind of know about you and your strategy and why you chose to do, because you're all service accommodation.
I am, yeah.
You know,
and I never planned it that way.
Yeah, which, you know, some people like to diversify their portfolio and do things differently and have their hands in as many baskets as possible, which is fine. But I get the impression that you just love doing serviced accommodation.
I think so I originally wanted to do HMOs because obviously with my nursing background, I thought, right, let's house nurses and doctors. I know there's a shortage of them. I know there's a demand. What can we do? Spoke to the accommodation office in my hospital. I know a lot of contacts because I was a manager in the hospital. I wasn't like a staff nurse. So, and I knew how things worked and what I needed to do. But then I didn't really understand. I did understand I'd done the HMO training, but I just thought there's a lot of, you know, having tenants in, and then I was thinking, what if they don't leave, or they don't pay the rent? And then I seen this house on Rightmove that I've got now, and I thought, I'll just try that as Airbnb and see what happens, and then maybe go into HMOs, and then it just snowballed, and I've never seen a HMO. You just kept going and going and going and going. Never seen a HMO ever. So.
And how many do you have now? This
is project number 25. Yeah.
25.
Yeah.
Like 25 is an absurd number. Yeah. And I mean, they're all doing really well.
Yeah,
you know,
they're all in the green.
Well, you can't ask for more than that. I mean, what problems did you have? Because I mean, if you've got 25 properties, not all of them are going to be smooth sailing, are they?
Not all of them,
you know,
no. Yeah.
You can just pick out a few of your favourite, you know, issues or problems that you kind of like overcame in the process.
We've taught most of our property, well, all of our properties apart from this big massive one now, have all been furnished, so I've been quite lucky in that aspect, and I've only had to really spend £400 or £500 on staging it, if you like, so pillows, bedding, etc. So I've been lucky in that aspect, but some landlords that I come across are typical landlords. Everything in the house is a landlord job, like things painted over stuff and not being serviced, like electricity boxes and stuff, things like that. And that's where my brother comes in, because he's very hands-on and practical. So he knows someone for everything. You can literally say, I need this, and within half an hour he'll have a number. And
that's handy in this game.
Very, very handy. So I deal with all the kinds of the finding the properties, negotiating, deal stacking, marketing and staging, listing, and then, well, pretty much everything when I think about it like that. And then communication with the guests. And then my brother does all of the practical stuff. So technically he finds the properties. So he'll say, I know this landlord, and then he'll sit me in front of them, and then he'll walk away and I do the negotiation.
Right,
That's
gotcha.
how we work. Because my brother just can't, he isn't confident enough to sit down and have them conversations yet. He will be in the future, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But I have a lot of properties today, in fact, I've had the electricity go off in one. So while I'm trying to stage a 10-bed hotel, I'm on the, well, I say me, my brother is on the phone to an electrician. I'm talking to the guests while I'm trying to do bedding and put pictures on walls.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just small things like that, like electricity now especially is so important to have those like little niggly problems.
Of course,
that's when this power team thing that people in this industry talk about become such an important part of the whole process.
And I've got a really good story about the power team actually, and I don't know if I've actually told you this or not, but we had a property in a little town in Liverpool that I thought wouldn't do very well, and I'd left it empty for ages, and I thought, you know what, I'll get back to that because I've been so busy, I'll deal with it later. So it's been sat there empty, and I said to my brother, you know what, I'm going to list it and just see what happens. It wasn't ready for a guest, but I thought, it's not going to get booked anyway, what's the harm in listing it? Listed it, 4 or 5 days had gone past, and we were outside another Academy members' property.
Yes, yeah, I remember this. I remember this.
Then I said, oh, no one's booking this property, I don't know what's wrong with it. And then the next minute, a 20-day booking come in, which actually today has just been extended for another 5 days.
Wow.
So, as you know, within 2 hours.
Yeah, I mean, you were stealing beds. You were stealing beds. You were like calling people, like get the cleaners in there, get the painter in there.
Yeah. So within 2 hours, we stole a bed, stole a mattress, stole bedding, cleaner, electrician, painter, gardener and window cleaner.
Wow.
And then we finished at 8:15 in the night, and the guests arrived at 8:30. And that was a £2.5 booking. Yeah.
Crazy. I mean, that is a huge success.
That's a power team story,
from the power team.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, going a little bit further back, you know, before you kind of really deep dived into property, you know, how did you like escape that rat race of going to work, you know,
I think,
and then transitioning to where you are now, which is full-time in property?
It's full-time in property,
you know,
now, yeah.
How did you make that escape or adapt your strategies?
I think I didn't have a choice to escape. I think my mental health was that bad. So how I ended up leaving the NHS was I was meant to finish work at 3 o'clock. We had no staff on the late shift, so I said, don't worry, because I'm that person. I'll stay on the late shift, I'll cover the nurses, don't worry about it. And we had like so many poorly patients. I think we had 24 patients on the wards, and 10 of them were on the edge of death. And it was our job to stop that from happening.
Because obviously you were in it through COVID and everything else.
Yeah.
You know,
so I'm used to that, but I think since having a baby, your brain doesn't work the same. And I've been out of work for 7-8 months at this point on maternity leave. So this was my first clinical shift back. So I probably in hindsight shouldn't have done it, but because I loved nursing and I loved the people I worked with, I did stay. And I rang for additional help, and there was no help available for any other staff to come to the ward. So I was like, yeah, okay, but we're just going to have to do what we can do. So I was meant to finish at 3. I got home at 10 p.m. And bearing in mind, I'd been on shift since 6:30 in the morning. I then got home and Lily wouldn't go to sleep. So then she was crying and whinging. And,
just going on, yeah.
And I just hit a brick wall, and I thought, you know what? I can't nurse anymore, I'm crap at that. I can't be a mum, I'm crap at that. I can't even get my own daughter to bed. I can't even look after 10 patients. I don't want to be here anymore. What's the point? I'm better off not being here. And that was the point where I thought that I can't do this anymore. Something has to give. So I actually did go into work the next day. That was the 17th of December. The 18th of December, I went back into work in the morning, and my manager come in, and I just broke down and I said, I don't want to be here anymore. And she was like, why, would you not like your job? And I said, no, on this planet I do not want to be here anymore. I said, I don't know what's happened to me, I'm broke, I can't nurse. And nursing was my passion, like I absolutely loved it. So she said, go home, have 2 weeks off, I'll see you in 2 weeks. And I never went back. And I think at that point I was really, really low, and people who I thought were my friends, who I'd worked side by side with for the last 5 years in that role, don't speak to at all now. Nobody checked up on me, nobody messaged me. And I thought, I need to just focus on my daughter now, because no one else is focusing on me. And that's when my life clicked, and I thought, no, I need to change. And bearing in mind, I'm still now going through recovery, I'm still doing therapy, I'm still doing this and this, but I'm in a much better place. But I had no choice but to leave the NHS, because it was give up my job or give up my life. It was one or the other. So I left the NHS. Well, I was on the sick, to be fair. I was on the sick for quite a long time, and rightly so, because I needed the time to adjust.
The mental damage from everything.
But then during that time of being off sick, I thought, right, what do I need to do now to get myself better? What can I start looking at? Is it going on agency shifts and just working ad hoc as a nurse?
Yeah.
Is it going into property? Is it starting my own business and, nursing agency or nursing education? That was something I was interested in.
Yeah.
And then I just fell into the property when I got my first property, and it just rolled from there.
Yeah, just kept
so
going and going.
I didn't want to leave the NHS. I had to. It wasn't a choice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I know the Shannon now.
Yeah.
Which is incredibly confident and really well spoken. And you're actually doing a talk tonight.
I am, yeah.
Granted, a very fast talk because she has to be back here.
I'm coming back here.
So it's about 2 hours away in Manchester. And you're now talking in front of like 30 plus people.
I think it's like 39 on the list.
Which is crazy. And it's not a big room either. So this is really good.
And I've got no presentation. It's just going to come out of my mouth.
But this is the presentation, because you're honestly an inspiration to everybody.
Thank you.
And I mean, what would you say to somebody who's in that place that you were in?
Yeah.
How would you say to pull them through to the other side, to maybe not even property, but maybe just
something else?
Yeah, just something.
I'd just say
else
reach out to someone who, or like me, or someone who has been through it, because I didn't have anyone to pull me through it. I had to pull myself through it for Lily. But if you've got someone that can help you pull out, like, you've got to just anchor into your why. Like, why do you want to be successful? Because everyone wants to be successful. I don't care who you are. You could stack shelves in Sainsbury's, or you could be a millionaire. You'd always want to be successful. But you've got to, if you don't have your solid why, you're never going to be successful.
Yeah.
And I think at the beginning, when I was dabbling in property, going the crash courses and stuff, because of me postnatal depression, Lily wasn't my why. My why was, I just want to be successful to prove everyone wrong. And I've got this kind of deeper, I don't know what the words would be, but my mum was very ill when I was young, and I didn't really have anyone to be proud of me as such growing up. So I was like, right, I'm going to make her proud, I'm going to make myself proud that I'm doing this for me. So I've always had that drive in me, whether that was through nursing or whatever I've done. I wrote my master's dissertation in 72 hours.
Wow.
Submitted that, passed, graduated twice. I've just done all kinds of stuff. But I just have to do it, because failure is not an option for me, because I just think, well, if my mum could kind of see me now and see what I'm doing, she'd be proud. But obviously when Lily's older, hopefully these videos will still be around, and she'll go, God, I was only like 1 then, and she was doing this, and but yeah, I'd just say, especially if you're on the academy, there's so many people on the academy that will support you, especially in the northwest. So I don't know down south.
Yeah, we're definitely the friendliest ones up in the north.
But just anchor in on your why and find a group of people that you can just bounce off, and even if you haven't got properties, spend the day with them. I mean, look at me and Brody, we've been together for like 2 weeks straight now, just learning stuff, and having that other person there, that's like Samuel mentioned at the academy dinner, having your success buddy or your success peer, someone else who wants to be as successful as you, and you'll pull each other up together. Yeah. So that would just be my advice, really.
Amazing. Yeah. That is amazing. And on your business side, how many days a week are you working on the business? It's got to be.
Well, I work 7
Feels like every day.
I work 7 days a week, but obviously this week has been every single day 12-hour days, because we're staging, we're getting things ready. But on a typical week, I'd do maybe an hour a day.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's without systemization.
That's incredible, because obviously you manage a lot of these properties yourself.
All of them,
without even channel managers or anything. This is we're talking like literally just through the OTA platforms, which is online travel agents, if you didn't know. Gosh, I mean, that is crazy to think you
I
put
just link all the calendars together.
That's so
I
good.
I beat the commission, that's
absolutely.
Because if you link your calendar, so like Airbnb, for example, without a channel manager, it's 3% if you put the fee on the guest, or whatever you decide to do. But if you link a channel manager to Airbnb, your commission goes to 15%. So then I was getting charged, when I trialed the channel manager, I was going, I'm getting charged 15%. I'm not doing this, because I'm tight ass. I'm not doing it. Yeah. So I took the channel manager off. It went back down to 3%. But then I thought, what happens if I just link Booking.com, Airbnb, Vrbo, etc., link the calendars together? Will it still charge me 15% commission? The answer is no, it doesn't. It stays at 3%. Wow. So even though I don't have a channel manager as such, the calendars link, I won't never get double booked. And I've never, touch wood, had a double booking.
That's crazy. And then for like automated messaging, how do you?
So on Airbnb-booking.com, you can do like pre-written messages that you can just send.
Oh, great.
But I don't use them. I pre-type them in my phone on notes, and then I'll just copy and paste them over.
Yeah, that sounds familiar. I've done that a few times, especially.
That's what I do. I really should sit down and systemize on Airbnb and booking.com like the pre-written messages, but I just don't have the time at the minute.
No, that's fine. I mean, who's your idol in property? I know who like mine is.
I mean, obviously I joined Samuel Leeds Academy, and I think what Samuel's created is absolutely amazing, and I would strive to create something like that for nurses in terms of an academy for nurses that can network and support each other. But I want to be other people's idols, especially my daughters. I don't really want to strive to be like someone else, because I feel like what I bring or what I'm trying to do is completely different, because I'm focusing on the struggles and maybe not all the ways of successes. Granted, okay, yeah, it's great, I've got 25 properties and I'm doing this, this and this. Yeah. But when people look at me and they go, oh my God, how did you do it? How I cried 6 nights a week, cried myself to sleep, didn't eat, like there's the struggles behind it. People think that you just go, oh God, I've got 25.
Here's the headline figures, here's the reality of how that got there.
But when you're battling mental health issues, you know, I can't tell you how I've done it, because I just fought through it. And some days I get the keys and I just start crying on the way home in the car, and the next thing I just ring a landlord and go, oh, this, that and the other. You know, someone who Adam's put me in touch with. But it's I want to be other people's idols, but for getting through tough times, not just through property, if that makes sense.
Yeah, well, it's a perfectly fair point. And you are the idol to so many people, honestly. The ability to scale as fast as you did, the way you've systemised things, the background between Power Team, and then obviously your network with agents and opportunities. I mean, you are the queen of Rightmove, aren't you?
I like
you do seem to find the properties.
Yeah, so this was found on Rightmove,
which is crazy, because this is a really, really stunning property. And it's massive. It's 5 floors, is it?
It's 5 floors, but the pictures don't do it justice, do
they? You have to be here. You have to be here to like really, really take it all in. I mean, I wanted to find out, like, what is your dream? Like, where do you want to be? Where are you going to say to yourself, this is success? Yeah. You know, we talked about success before, of course. But like, where is the top of the hill? You know?
I think success for a lot of people is money, cars, you know, fame, whether it be actual fame or Samuel Leeds Academy fame, whichever you want to do it. I think success for me is just peace. Peace that, like, I've struggled for so many years throughout my life. You know, my mum, she's been sick for most of my life. So like, I was in a quite bad domestic abusive relationship when I was younger. Then my mum had cancer, then she had the brain hemorrhage, and I've just constantly had battle after battle after battle, and I've always been on fight or flight for, well, I'm 30 this year, so the majority of my life. And I think like success for me will just be peace, and that my bills are paid. Like, I don't care if I have to eat beans on toast for the rest of my life, as long as I've a roof over my head. I need £1,000 for my mortgage a month, and I'm completely happy. And just having my daughter, and she's got toys to play with and clothes on her back, that's success for me. I think that's just me being humbly successful. Yeah. Because I'm a lot more successful than that in real life. But that's all I want is just to be like at peace. Yeah. Not have to worry about toxicity in workplaces and, you know, getting up early and getting my daughter. Like, when I went to work in the NHS, I'd have to get my daughter out of bed at 5:30 in the morning to get her dressed, get me dressed, drop it off and go to nursery, etc. Now I think sleep in. Just you sleep in, so when you open your eyes, it doesn't bother me. And then everyone's like, get in a routine, and why? It doesn't need to be in a routine, because I'm not in a routine. We just do what we want every day, and that's success to me. Yeah. Just doing what we want.
That's the freedom.
Yeah, it's the freedom.
Yeah, and that's what more could you want?
But I think helping people, and I think since the Academy dinner last week or the week before, I've spoke to so many people who are depressed and struggling, and I think there's a fine line between people who've messaged me and said, I'm struggling, I'm fed up, I can't get through to agents, and people actually saying, I'm struggling bad, like with my mental health. Yeah. Because I'm not just struggling to speak to the agents, and I wasn't just struggling to, you know, find deals, I was struggling to keep myself in a safe place. Yeah. And I think they're two completely different things. So it's, you've got to find the line between that, and are you struggling with this or are you struggling with that? Because I can help in both ways, but I need to know
you need to know which
one it is.
Which one it is.
Because they're both, like, you know, very different.
Yeah, I mean, we both learn from, I would say, arguably the best property trainer.
Yeah.
You know, I've trialled a few. I don't know if you trialled a few before, Samuel.
I've been on one before, Samuel.
Yeah, some of them are very questionable, but overall, I think his training is amazing.
Yeah.
And I will actually leave a link down for Samuel's training. But what was it about the training that made you go for the academy? Because for anybody who's not familiar, you go on like a 4-day course usually, and then you can enroll into what we have, which is the academy, which is a 12-month mentorship. But you have that like decision time, and in that decision time, I went through a whole host of different emotions of whether it was a scam.
I felt sick. I seen money come on my bank account. I felt ill. I thought, what have I done? And you know what? I'd pay it again and again.
Likewise.
I would.
Likewise.
And I've just signed up for my second year now, so I'm an associate member now. So I think at first you are sceptical. I think no one isn't sceptical. Everyone is thinking this is a scam. The people are paid actors. People on the stage are being paid to be up there. You know, these people aren't successful.
That's right.
People are standing up there saying, you know, we've got 2 mentors who were teachers. We used to be teachers, we're now financially free, and you'd think, was you teachers though? I don't really believe it.
Were you really?
Yeah, was
or are you talking bollocks?
Yeah, and then I think when it happens to you, when you go, oh, actually, this is real. But then people who actually know me personally within the academy see it, and then that makes them believe, and they go, oh, actually, she's just a scouser, a nurse. You know, she's a normal person, and
absolutely killing it in property.
And she's doing well, so can we, and that pushes people on as well. And if I can just do that for one person, then
I mean, that's amazing.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
Yeah, definitely.
So, I mean, what are you making? I mean, you can give us a ballpark figure, but like just property, nothing else. So,
if I include deal selling, which I sold my first deal now as well.
Congratulations!
Deal sourcer,
Congratulations! Shannon, the deal sourcer.
Yeah, which I always said I'd never deal source. I'd never buy a deal. I'd never. And then, as I say, because I've got this rapport with landlords and agents now, they come to me, and I think these are good deals. So, you know, if I would take them, I would want someone else, and I'd help them do it, which I've done with another academy member. So profit, I think July will be the best month so far, and we're looking around 17,000 profit this month. I've also got a few deals in the pipeline, so if they're sold, then I don't know what it'll be.
I mean, that's incredible.
And then this property, so that's just with the 24. This property, we've actually got a contract in writing. Well, it's contract in draft, shall I say, with contractors who will be coming in from Monday, and that will give us 11,500 a month profit.
Wow. That's crazy. Big numbers there. We're talking really big numbers.
And that's on a discount as well, what we give them to be fair. So they've got a big discount.
Of course, sourcing fees and everything else. I mean, one thing that's really intriguing to me is this property we're in now is actually a joint venture, am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, how do you know who to trust in property? You know, because that's a big thing.
It's a big thing.
I've been in joint ventures before, you know, and although the deal went sour, you know, the relationship between us as professionals is still really good.
Yeah.
You know, obviously you're in a joint venture now. Is this your first joint venture?
This is my first joint venture,
Yeah. So how did you know to trust the other individual with
I think you
business?
You just know. I think me and Dale actually met outside the academy. We never met inside the academy. So my brother Adam, who I do property with, knew someone else who was in property, and he was just trying to introduce me to as many people as possible to get me to network and get more confidence. So we met this man in Acosta, and he was like, what are you looking for? I was like, well, I want properties in Liverpool. He said, okay, I know someone who can help you. Yeah. So then next thing he calls Dale. Dale turns up at Costa. He was like, hi, I'm Dale. And I was like, how are you? And then he said, oh, I'm on Samuel Leeds Academy. And I went, so am I. Very small. And then the next thing, we just spoke every day, and we were speaking multiple times a day. Yeah. Just getting to know each other, but also getting to know each other on the academy. So then I think it was that night we first met. I went to Preston in a circle, and he was there. And I went, I just met you, haven't I? And he was like, yeah. So we just built the rapport up from there, really. And we did speak multiple times a day, just got on really well. You know, I'm from Liverpool, he's from Runcorn. And I think because I met him through mutual connections as well, it wasn't just through the academy. Yeah. It was people that me family knew and that I'd worked with and known for years. So I know that he wasn't dodgy, if you know what I mean. So yeah, we just got on, and then I seen this property on Rightmove, and I'd watched it for a bit. It'd been on for a while. Watched it. Something in my gut was saying, "This is your next one. This is your next one." I was going,
yeah, it's throwing that rope, and
I was laying in
it.
bed, and I was scrolling, and then Dale texted me, and he was like, "What are you up to?" And I said, "I'm looking at this property." He went, "Send it over," because with Dale, we send deals back and forward to each other, knowing that we're not going to undercut each other, and I think that built the trust up with him as well, because he never undercut me when I'd send him a deal and said, "Look through this," or whatever it may be. So he was like, "Yeah, it's big though, isn't it? Like, what can we do with it?" And I was like, "What can we do with it?" He was like, "Yeah, do you not want to do it?" And I went, "All right, go on then." And that was it. We just went, "All right, let's do it." So he said, "Book a viewing." So I rang in the morning, booked a viewing. And funny enough, when I talk about motherhood and property, childcare got let down for the day that I come to view this property. So Lily was on my hip.
So Shannon, if I wanted to work with you, you know, how would I get in contact? You know, what are your social links? What's the best way to get in touch with you inside the academy and outside the academy?
So you can contact me on Samuel Social or on Instagram, and the handle is just @Shannon Senior Property, or if you are in the academy WhatsApp groups, my number's in there, so just message me anytime.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you taking so much time out of your unbelievably busy day. Obviously, we are deep in the refurb stages at the minute, and I've managed to just grab Shannon out for a quick chat. But look, I massively appreciate it. It's been an absolute pleasure. You're an idol to so many academy members, and I'm sure when this goes out, an idol to so many more people as well. So thank you so much for your time.
Oh no, thank you very much.